everyone and welcome here. My name is Heather, aka Hayhay Crochet, and in today's long-awaited video, I am going to show you how to crochet this here behind me, this bear monitor cover. I am actually shooketh. I'm actually so shook that people wanted a tutorial for this. I was originally going to film a tutorial for it in that video. And if you don't know what video I'm talking about me making over, redecorating this whole space, this room. And I just thought it's not that good. I mean, I like it, but I don't know if other people would like care for a tutorial, and the video was already pretty long. So I was like, I'm just not going to do it. But if people want one, I could make one. And you guys overwhelmingly really wanted a tutorial for it. I get so many comments a day and DMs of people asking when I'm coming out with a tutorial for this, so today's the day. And also, it's very dreary, cloudy today, and it has been for so many days, and I just don't want to put off any longer waiting for it to be sunny, so we're just filming it now, so bear with me. Also, I wanted to say that you can make this monitor cover with a few different types of yarn. Like, I used a normal weight 5 yarn and a 4.5 millimeter hook, but for the first one I made, because I found this yarn and it looked so very, you can't really tell, but it's kind of fuzzy and it looked very berry to me, so I decided to go with this one. And this is a weight 5, and I think I used a 5 millimeter hook for this, but it worked all the same. I mean, I had to chain and had a different stitch count for this one versus this one. So it all depends. This tutorial is going to be very customizable, and I'll give you like little tips on how you can make it work for either your yarn or your size of monitor. 2 different types of yarn, 2 different crochet hooks, but they still fit nicely on my monitor all the same. But anyway, you guys have waited long enough. Let's get into this tutorial. Okay, to start, we need to find out how many chains we need for the length and the width of our monitor. So for my monitor and my tension, 41 stitches slightly stretched is perfect for the length of my monitor. You probably want to chain a little less than you think you do, so it'll have a bit of a stretch to reach the corners that you need it to, because we don't want the cover to be too loose and like fall off of it. So we want it to be slightly stretched and tight around our monitor. So 41 stitches slightly stretched is perfect for the length, and then 71 chains slightly stretched is perfect for the width of my monitor. So now we will do a little bit of math, and for my monitor it'll be 71 chains plus 71 chains plus 41 chains plus 41 chains plus 4 more chains for each of the corners. So you're going to add that all together, and for me that is 228 chains altogether. I know I need to chain 228 chains to start out the making of my monitor cover, but those numbers will depend on how big your monitor is. So just chain until you have as many as you need for the width and the length, and then add all those numbers together plus 4 chains, and that will be our foundation chain. Okay, I have my 222 chains, and now what we're going to do, we're going to start working in the round. So now we're gonna make sure our chain is not twisted, and then we're going to join the chain together. While working in this chain, we're not going to work in these like braided loops. We're going to work in the back ridges of our chains for a neater look. I mean, you can work in these, but I think it looks nicer if we work in these back ridges of our chains. I made sure again that my chain wasn't twisted, and then we're going to slip stitch into the first chain that we created. And then we're going to chain 1 and then work a single crochet into that same chain. And then we're going to work 1 single crochet into the next 40 chains. So you should have 41 single crochets total, or the total amount that you chained for the length of your monitor. For me, that was 41 chains, so I'm going to work a total of 41 single crochets across my chain. It may be a little hard to work in, but it looks much nicer in the end. All right, after you single crochet into as many chains as you needed for the length of your monitor, we're going to work our first corner. So you're going to single crochet into the next chain, chain 2, and then work 1 more single crochet into that same chain. So this helps create our first corner. So now you're just going to work a single crochet into as many chains as you chained for the width of your monitor, and then we will work our next corner. For me, that was 71, so I'm going to work 1 single crochet into the next 71 chains. Okay, I just worked my 71 single crochets, and now we're going to work the next corner. So you're going to work 1 single crochet into the next chain, chain 2, and then work another single crochet into that same chain. And then we're just going to repeat like the opposite side here, and going to work 1 single crochet into the next 41 chains, or however many chains that you have for the length of your monitor. After you work the amount of single crochets for the length of your monitor, you're going to work another corner, which is just 1 single crochet, chain 2, and then another single crochet into that same chain. And then I'm going to work 71 single crochet into the next 71 chains, and then I will be working my last corner right here. Just continue doing that, and I'll meet you right here when I have finished. Okay, for the very last stitch of the round, it's going to be kind of hard to see, but you're just going to work a corner like you have been. So single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet again, and then we're going to slip stitch into the first stitch of the round. And for round 2, we're going to chain 1, and then making sure not to work in this slip stitch that you created, we're going to single crochet, and then when you come to the chain 2 space, you're just going to work another increase. So a single crochet, chain 2, and then a single crochet. and then just work 1 single crochet into each stitch until you come to your next corner, and then you're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, and then another single crochet, and then you're just going to repeat that until you come back around to the beginning. You can also put a stitch marker at the beginning if it's kind of hard to see. I think I'll be able to tell, but if you're unsure, you can put a stitch marker there. Slip stitch into the first stitch of the round, turn your work, chain 1, and for round 3 it's going to be the same as round 2, so just work 1 normal single crochet into each stitch until you come to a corner, and then in that chain 2 space work a single crochet, chain 2, and then another single crochet. So you're just going to repeat that until the end of the round. So skipping this first stitch because it's not a stitch, it's our slip stitch, and single crochet, and yeah, just work single crochets all the way around until you come to a corner, and then work your increase. Okay, now I'm just slip stitching into the first stitch of the round. Okay, so now you're going to turn your work, chain 1, and we're going to be working into the front loop only. So see, with here we have 2 loops like a little braid. We're going to be working into the front one only, not through both, but through the front one only. Just going to work single crochets all the way around, and when we come to the chain 2 from the increases, we're just going to skip over them and then work into the back loop only of the next single crochet. So just work 1 single crochet into the back loop only of each stitch, and then when you come to this chain 2 of the corners, skip over those chains and continue working in the back loop only of all of the single crochets. Working in the back loop only is going to help fold our work so it will go over the monitor. It'll make sense later. All right, now after you worked in the last stitch of the round, slip stitch into the first stitch of the round. And now for rows 5 and 6, just work 1 normal single crochet into each stitch until the end of the round. So no increases or decreases, just normal single crochets all the way around. All right, now I'm slip stitching into the first stitch of the round. And this is what it should be looking like. This may all depend on your monitor and how thick you have to do it, but I can show you what it should be looking like so far. So see, 3 for the front of it, and then 3 for the side of it. This is what it should be looking like so far. Now we're going to work the back end of the monitor so it can cover over the monitor. 3 rows is perfect for the thickness of mine, but you may need to do more or less depending on the thickness of your monitor. So after you've worked as many rows as you need, we're going to turn our work, chain 1, and now we need this to fold again downward. So this time we're going to be working in the back loop instead of the front loop because of the way our work has turned. But if you worked only 2 rows or more, you may have to work in the front or back loop. It just depends. See where my work is turning, goes up, and then I need to go down this way. So I'm going to be working in the back loop to help it fold down that way. Working in the back loop only, going to be working single crochets all the way around until I come to a corner. I'm going to decrease by 1. So every time you come to a corner, you're going to decrease / work 2 single crochets together. I don't have exact numbers, and again, it all depends on yours, but I'm just going to roughly eyeball where the corner is, and then I'm going to single crochet 2 together, and I'll show you that when I come to my first corner. Okay, I've roughly come to my first corner. Again, I don't have exact numbers, but I know roughly it's right about here. So these 2 stitches, I'm going to single crochet together. So gonna go into 1, yarn over, pick up a loop, and then I'm going to go into the next stitch, insert my hook, pick up a loop, and then I'm going to yarn over and go through all 3 loops. So I'm just single crocheting 2 together. I'll show you that one more time. So insert your hook, yarn over, pick up a loop, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pick up a loop. You should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. I'm going to continue working in the back loop only. So to keep working 1 single crochet into the back loop only until you come to your corners, and then you're going to single crochet 2 together. You're going to decrease by 1. This is a decrease round, and you can kind of tell that it's pulling the corners together, and that's what we want. And I'm going to continue doing that and decreasing at all of the corners. Okay, I'm working my last decrease. And then I have these 2 last stitches, and then slip stitching into the first stitch of the round. All right, for rows 8 and 9, I'm just going to do the same thing pretty much. I mean, I'm not working in the back or front loops only. I'm working normal single crochets into every stitch, and we'll still be decreasing by 1 at all of the corners. So just single crochet 2 together when you come upon another corner. So just work through both loops, and just do that until the end of the round, remembering to decrease when you come to a corner, and just repeat this through rounds 8 and 9. Okay, for the very last round, we're going to turn our work, chain 1, and then we're just going to work slip stitches all the way around. No decreases. We're just going to work slip stitches all the way around until the end of the round. Okay, and that's it for the main base. I will try it on my monitor so that you can get a feel for how it's supposed to look, and then we will move on to the little ears. that is how it should be looking so far. This part, it doesn't fully cover the monitor because I have this holding it back, but I mean, it does for the most part, and it's easier to like pull this down so I can turn on my monitor or mess with the settings. Overall, it covers it very nice, and you might not have that little extra bit right there, but for the most part, it is looking good, and I'm in love with this. It doesn't really show up on camera, but it's like a pinky color, but it looks more tan on camera. Yeah, next I'll show you how to make those ears. Also, I wanted to mention that I think the front, or like where you started crocheting, helps cover the monitor much better than if you turned it around and it was the back. I don't feel like it covers as well, but you can put it on either way you want. And it also depends on your monitor, but for my monitor, the front, or this is, you know, the chain that I started with, I feel like helps cover the monitor much better than the back does. Starting out, we're going to make a magic loop and then work 6 single crochets into this magic loop. And then you want to close it up, and then we're going to work 2 single crochet into each stitch, and that's 1, and use a stitch marker to help know your place, and then work 1 more single crochet into that same stitch, and then work 2 single crochet into the remaining stitches. So by the end of this round, you should have 12 stitches. For round 3, we're going to work 1 single crochet and then work 2 single crochet into the next stitch. And then we're just going to repeat that 5 more times. So you work 1 single crochet and then work 2 single crochet into the next stitch. Repeat that until the end of the round. Now for round 4, you're going to work 1 single crochet and then another single crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 single crochet into the next. So you work 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then in the next stitch work an increase, and you're just going to repeat that 5 more times. Now for rounds 5 through 8, you're just going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch until the end of the round. So no increases, just work normal single crochets into each stitch until the end of the round. Okay, and lastly for round 9, we're just going to work slip stitches all the way around. So just work 1 slip stitch into each stitch until the end of the round. Okay, and that is it for your first little bear ear. I just fold it like in half, and then I kind of push it in because I like the way that looks. And honestly, I'm just going to hot glue this on the top of it, but you can sew it, but I don't really ever think I'm going to be like washing it, so I don't think I have to worry about it. And that's what I did with my first monitor cover. So yeah, I'm just gonna fold it like this and then hot glue it right on top. So yeah, just repeat this for your other bear ear, and I will see you when I have it all assembled. All right, and this is it with the ends all weaved in. And I just finished hot gluing the ears on top. They're pretty secure. And again, I don't think I'll ever be washing this cover, so it's fine, but you are more than welcome to sew them on if that is what you wish to do. Alrighty, that is it for this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this little tutorial, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on that bell notification so you can keep up to date for when I come out with new patterns and videos and whatnot. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!